So I'm going to be showing you how to set rivets using leather washers that reinforce the rivet attachment points. I'm going to start by threading the stem of the rivet into a washer from the right side of the leather. And then I'm going to come into the tote and place the stem of the rivet into the tote from the inside of my bag. So I'm going to do that for one more rivet and place that from the back side, the wrong side of the fabric. And then I'm going to place my leather strap on top, thread a D-ring on, place it on there, on the other stem, and then stick 2 caps on. So the leather washers here are really going to strengthen this strap attachment and help with tear out of the metal in the fabric over time and use. I'm going to take the stem of a rivet and thread it through the washer from the right side of the leather. And then I'm going to come from inside the tote and push the stem up. And then do that for one more rivet. I'm going to push the leather strap onto the rivets and connect the caps. Okay, so now this is set up to hammer. So now that we've got our leather strap set up with our washers, we're going to hammer these rivets. They need to be hammered on a hard surface like marble or stone, or if you have an anvil, and if you don't have an anvil, you can also use the side of a hammer underneath your rivet. So I'm going to show you how to set these rivets with a hammer, and then I'm also going to show you how to set them with an industrial hand press fitted with the correct dies for double cap rivets. So we're going to set the rivets on this strap here, and I'm going to start with showing you how to set the rivets where the D-ring is. We need to flip the D-ring out of the way after we set this rivet so that we can get in there and set that rivet. So right now it's flipped down, it's out of the way. So I can come in here and hammer the top one. I'm going to start with a light tap just to get the rivet to start to set down, because if I go in too heavy at first, I might set the rivet crooked. Then once it starts to set down a little, I can hit it a little harder. And you can tell that it's set because it's like indented into the leather there. So now that I've set the top one, I'm going to come and flip the D-ring up so that it's not in the way, so I can set the bottom rivet there. And again, starting with a light tap and then going in and hitting it a few more times a little heavier. So I hammer from the inside in case I miss the rivet and dent it, then I'm denting the inside rivet and not the one on the outside. And that's what the rivets look like set. Now, if you don't have marble or stone or an anvil, you can also lay the rivets on top of the side of a hammer, and it acts as an anvil. And you can hammer them on there too. So that's how that's set on the hammer. And then we're going to move over to the industrial hand press, and I'll show you how to set that one. All right, so this is an industrial hand press. And we're just going to set it up with the correct dies for those double cap rivets. So the press accepts a bunch of different dies depending on what hardware you're setting. And we're going to grab the medium double cap rivet die, and the larger one of the two goes in the bottom and the smaller one goes in the top. And this is a little spring loaded, so the rivet cap sits in there and then we press it down. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this side of the rivet face down in there because it's sticking out a little bit more. So I'll be able to tell that it seats in there correctly. And then I'm actually going to push on the handle all the way down until it stops. And then I'm going to stand up and lean on it with my body weight, and I can feel it press down and set the rivet.